Treacherous by Taylor Swift. This song comes as another request from Red. Again, it's not a track that I've paid particular attention to before, so when someone requests a song, then I give it a careful listen and have a think about it. So I always thank you for that opportunity. Red's actually an album that I'm going to go back and listen to all the way through, because it's not one that's, apart from a couple of songs, it's not one that's really attracted much of my attention. This is track 3 off the album. I'll be listening to Taylor's version, of course, the lyric video. So let's jump into Treacherous by Taylor Swift from Red. Just at the beginning here, I noticed that this still has a fairly country feel to it. You remember this album, Red, is quite a mixture of different styles, but this one still has that country pop sort of feel to it.
Put your lips close to mine, as long as they don't touch. Out of focus, eye to eye, till the gravity's too much.
So Taylor's here describing that moment of tension when people are kind of close to kissing but not quite there. And when you're that close to a person, their face is always out of focus. But there's this feeling of gravity, something pulling them together, with the suggestion also that they're trying to resist this.
Put your lips close to mine, as long as they don't touch. Out of focus, eye to eye, till the gravity's too much. And I'll do anything you say, if you say it with your hands.
Although in interviews Taylor's been a little bit coy about this line, it seems fairly clear to me that it's a sexual reference, or at least a sensual reference. Speaking with your hands. So again, she's building up this scene here with this sexual tension.
And I'll do anything you say, if you say it with your hands. And I'd be smart to walk away, but you're quicksand.
So we have here that sense of danger, potential danger in this relationship. She knows that maybe she should walk away, but she's being sucked in. Like that powerful magnetism, that powerful gravity that Taylor's spoken about before, that draws her into this relationship. In this instance, she uses the image of quicksand, getting stuck in quicksand. Taylor's flirted with this idea of the dangerous relationship in many of her songs. And we see it perhaps not least of all in her relationship with Matt Healy, but also in her earlier relationships. For example, in the song Would've, Could've, Should've, where she's referring to John Mayer, she says, and the God's honest truth is that the pain was heaven. Throughout Taylor's writing, and indeed apparently throughout her relationships, there's always been this acknowledgement that she's drawn towards the bad boy, that she's drawn towards dangerous situations that she knows are going to turn out badly, but she finds it difficult to resist that pull, that gravity, that magnetic attraction, fully aware all the time of the price that she's going to pay.
And I'd be smart to walk away, but you're quicksand. This path is irregular.
So there it is, that admission to herself that she's drawn towards this sense of danger.
I can't decide if it's a choice, getting swept away.
So there's this tension here between deciding something, choosing something, and or being swept away. She's not sure what role her will plays in this. Or is it something acting upon her that she can't resist? I think there's the sense of both in these kinds of relationships for her. She's making the decision, but at the same time it feels like something beyond her control.
I can't decide if it's a choice, getting swept away. I hear the sound of my own voice asking you to stay.
I really love this line. I hear the sound of my own voice asking you to stay. But she hears it as if it's the voice of someone else. She's not even really consciously aware of saying these words, but she hears her own voice saying them. Again, there's this kind of dichotomy, this split within her personality at this point. It's her voice, she hears it, but she's not really aware of saying it, not really consciously, purposefully saying it. It's part of the being swept away.
I hear the sound of my own voice asking you to stay. All we are is skin and bone, trained to get along, forever going with the flow, but your friction.
So she's acknowledging the physical nature of the attraction here with skin and bone, flesh and blood. We are biological beings, and we're driven to some extent by these biological processes. And then she says we're trained to go along with the flow. Trained by what? Trained by whom? What flow exactly is she referring to? I think perhaps that the training comes through all that we hear and see and read in novels, in songs, in poetry, in movies about this romantic relationship. We talk about falling in love. We talk about the power of attraction, and we're taught to go along with this. But then she adds that intriguing little phrase, we go along with the flow, but your friction. Friction is something that resists the flow, that fights against the flow. So again, we see the tension in this situation, in this potential relationship. There's all this gravity, attraction at work here, this urge to go with the flow, and yet he's friction. And friction is also something which generates heat. So in a way, the heat of the relationship comes from this friction, this resistance.
All we are is skin and bone, trained to get along, forever going with the flow, but your friction. This slope is treacherous, this path is reckless, this slope is treacherous. I like it. Two headlights shine through the speed.
That is just a brilliant transition here into the bridge. It's kind of, when you first hear it, it comes as quite a surprise. It's quite unexpected. I think it's one of the most striking transitions in any of Taylor's songs, this transition from the chorus to the bridge.
This slope is treacherous, this path is reckless, this slope is treacherous. I like it. Two headlights shine through the sleepless night, and I will get you along.
So the picture she's drawing here for me is of her being in the car with this person, driving along through the night. She wants to get him alone, so that suggests to me that they're actually not alone in the car. She's anticipating a time when they will be alone. And I can certainly picture and feel the tension that there would be in the car. Maybe there's a passenger or two in the back and they want to get rid of them. They want to drop them off. Nothing safe is worth the drive. Again, in Taylor's songs, we see this constant tension between this need for adventure, for something dangerous, or something thrilling, and the other pull towards something safe, something comforting, something secure. This is something that runs constantly through Taylor's songs and seemingly through her life.
Treacherous, this daydream is dangerous.
I like the way here, as Taylor so often does, she switches the chorus here. Now she's talking about a daydream. It suggests that the night has passed. But now it's not the slope that's treacherous, it's the hope that's treacherous. And the daydream is dangerous.
This hope is treacherous. This daydream is dangerous. This hope is treacherous.
It seems like an odd place to stop, I know, but throughout the song she's repeated this I. Now she repeats it several times. She can't even complete the sentence. She's lost for words at this point.
Treacherous.
I must say I like this song much more now, having listened to it several times, than I did when I listened to it the first time. I might mention that one of the differences between what I do here and what people on reaction channels do is that I listen to the song several times. I know the song very well by the time I'm talking to you about it. I do a little bit of research about it as well. While I quite enjoy people's first reactions to songs, I watch a lot of these reaction channels. While I do enjoy these first reactions, I do wonder how much you can appreciate a song on a first listen. Obviously, there are some songs that hit you the first time you hear them, but for me, it often takes several listens for me to really appreciate a song. And it was the case with this one. I still think for the most part, musically, it's not that interesting, but I do like that switch from the chorus to the bridge, and I do also like the way that she repeats the bridge. So she breaks the sort of normal structure of the song by returning to the bridge again at the end. For me, this definitely fits into the country pop side of Taylor's repertoire. But the lyrics are really good. She uses some really great imagery here. She's exploring a topic that, well, she may have explored before, I'm not sure, but she certainly explores again later in her music. And it's clearly an issue that she's struggled with throughout her life. This being attracted to the bad boy, if you like. Maybe that sounds a little bit cliched, but she always explores this issue in new and different ways, using creative imagery, and no less here than in some of her other songs. I don't know that I have anything else to say about the song. I think I've contributed all that I can. I really do love to hear your comments. Now, Red is an album that I'm going to return to. It may have been a bit underrated by me. And I'm going to go and have a good listen to it over the next, I don't know, week or so. And I know for some people this is actually their favourite Taylor Swift album. Let me know what you think of this track. Where does it fit into your list of Taylor Swift songs, from favourite to least favourite?